Hello everybody, and thank you for this opportunity to speak with you and share some of our experiences from South Cambs District Council. I'm really sorry I can't be with you in person, but I'm actually in Exeter at the moment, but I wish I could be there to join in the discussions. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in what we call the donut around Cambridge City, and that's the collection of rural villages all around that city centre. And really very little has been happening in terms of climate change over the last 6 to 8 years, and that's because the previous Tory administration had virtually zero interest in pursuing this agenda, even though there had been quite an ambitious climate action plan written in 2010. So what does it mean now, 8 years later on, trying to pick this up from virtually zero? And that's what I'd like to share with you. It's a challenge, but one that's made easier if there is political will. And indeed, political will and some vision there really is. And you will have seen that if you heard our leader's inaugural speech, where climate change and the environment were one of the 3 top priorities that she laid out for this administration coming in. And in terms of climate change, we're looking at cross-party consensus around these issues as much as possible. That's easier because we're majority now, we're a Lib Dem majority in the council. But we're really looking at driving through these issues by meeting social and economic development goals at the same time. So we're looking at driving forward clean air and air quality issues. And we're looking at driving forward the reduction of fuel poverty. Both of these are key issues locally and in the national agenda, and we can actually deal with them and drive down carbon emissions without even needing to mention the words climate change. In terms of clean air, we're right now fighting a battle with Highways England to look at the emissions that are starting to build up in our rural areas. Most people have thought that South Cambs, up until now, was really quite a clean district, but we're seeing the increase in pollutants and PM2.5 deadly particulates rising because of an increase in traffic emissions, particularly diesel engines, and this alongside roadside developments. So South Cambs is looking to have a harmonised air quality strategy with Cambridge City, which is ahead of us on this, and making sure that in our rural area, as we're looking at increased housing and transport, to actually drive down all of those emissions in our area. Secondly, in terms of energy, we're looking at reducing fuel poverty, and this will be by providing social housing, our own council housing, and other new developments with the batteries, the solar energy packages that they need to ensure that their energy bills go down. We'll be looking at rural distribution hubs in terms of energy as well, and we'll be looking at ground heat pumps too. In this way, what we'll be addressing is that key issue that will come up as December starts to hit us and those winter cold season hits us. We'll be actually looking at how we help residents drive their fuel bills down. Apart from this, local authorities are actually the ones who can ratchet up ambition. And we can do this because really this is where implementation happens. And it happens through planning. So land use planning, where new developments go, how houses are built, what conditions they have to meet. Even though the government has been stripping away a lot of the sustainable codes of practice, we in South Cambs are now meeting with developers to tell them that we are pushing up the bar in terms of what we expect from sustainable design. We'll be looking at new developments that are near transport hubs, that will be removing the need for cars and for parking spaces because we're providing them the spaces and the places where they can communicate and commute easily. Other things that we're looking at as well are in terms of waste. Just today, I put forward a motion that will go to full council this month, and that is on the reduction of all single-use plastic within our council buildings and with all those that use our council buildings. And we'll be promoting the refill programme, which is where you can access water fountains or tap water, clean water for your reusable bottles throughout the district. These are just a few of the things that we're starting to do, and all through the brand new Climate Change and Environment Committee which this administration has established. Thank you very much.